Hey, what is up everybody? Welcome back to another video made by yours truly, Nathan Cruz. Thank you. As you can tell by my drawing, and legit the title and thumbnail, duh. But as you can see, today's video is going to be a draw my life video, telling my story from when I was born all the way up until now. You all probably know how this works, and I'm just blabbering on already. But just sit back, relax, take your socks off, and enjoy the video. Alright, so let's get down to the basics. So I came into this world on December 16th, 1995, and I was born at St. Luke's Medical Center, if I can say that right, in the beautiful windy city of Chicago, Illinois. And if you see here, this is my my wannabe artistic drawing of Chicago's skyline. And as I was editing this video, I realized I put a little too much effort into this. So yeah, I'll let y'all enjoy the rest of this drawing. I don't even understand why I had to add so much detail, but anyhow, when I was born, my mom said I was one heavy baby and I had rolls. And no, I'm not talking about bread rolls, but that would have been really cool actually. But because I was so big and heavy, my family used to call me tronco, which means tree trunk in Spanish, I think. But that's what I was told, so to all my Spanish speakers, don't beat me up. So on to the next one, and once again, this is a this is another drawing I put a bit too much effort into. I mean, it's kind of plain, but I mean, and still looks bad, but hey, I tried. So around the time I was born, my dad had joined the military, so throughout my story, I'll be moving to different states, and hopefully I don't lose you guys in this story that's literally all over the place. But I can honestly say that I'm really grateful for being able to move all over the country because I've met so many good people and have seen so many beautiful places. Man, just look, I'm gonna roast my own drawing. Just look at the way I drew this eagle bird. Like, man, it was like Mother Nature said, like, nah, you can be ugly. Looking like a whole bird box over there. But I promise you, it looked way better in the sketches before. Now, let's fast forward this story in time to the ages between 8 to 12. Because honestly, who remembers anything before that age anyways? So around this time, I was living in the gorgeous sunny state of California. And this is where I feel like I was really finding out what I love to do. And hey, being a kid was the coolest thing ever. Now I'm a 23-year-old who has to pay bills and adult in life. It sucks. But as a kid, I became really obsessed with Legos. And if you don't know what those are, you need help. Not only was my obsession with Legos on the rise, I also started having an interest in cameras surprisingly at such a young age and have always wanted one as a kid. And as you can see by this drooling emoji, I was quite the fanatic for these two things. I sometimes would drool. And speaking of wanting a camera as a kid, I kind of sort of borrowed my mom's camera. Some would say it's called stealing, but I disagree. So with her camera, I started making these cringe home videos that I might show you guys very soon. Along this time, I also started getting into gaming, and I started off with one of those like huge old Dell computers that kind of look like a TV. I mean, hey, it worked. So I'm not sure if any of you would recognize these games, but I played a game called Virtual Magic Kingdom, or VMK for short. It was an online Disney game, and I sort of have some embarrassing stories with that one, but also a game called Toontown, which was really fun. And one you all might know, another game called Warcraft. Remember when your mama would tell you never to sit too close to the TV? Yeah, when I was playing these games all day, all night, I would be in the computer's face, eyes all red. That's probably why I have to wear glasses now. So moving along, here comes one of the first moves I remember as a kid. I also attempt to draw the states and yeah, I struggled a bit. I mean, look at the way I drew Illinois. What the fuck? But going from California to Illinois was a really tough move for me because I sort of grew up there and moving for a kid is never easy. So remember my obsession with cameras and Legos I told you about earlier in my story? I actually combined the two and started making stop motion animations with it. You know, taking picture by picture, making it magically move. Yeah, that stuff. And crazy enough, I was posting them on YouTube. I was so proud of these little videos I made, and I started showing my family, and they kept wanting to see more and more, so it made me feel really good about it. So another move in the books, but this one was to North Carolina. Not really one of my favorite spots to live, but I mean, I had the beach only 10 minutes from my house, so that was pretty great. So here, I attended a couple of years of middle school, and then high school came, where I only went for somewhat of my freshman year. I shortly got pulled out because I got into some fights. And yeah, my grades, they weren't that hot either. Sorry, Mom and Dad. Oh yeah, and I experienced my first hurricane here. Crazy! Normal people wouldn't be excited to go through that, but life is all about experiences, and I'm here for it. Here we go with moving again, and I had the hardest time drawing the state of Maryland. You'll see why in a second. But I have to say, this was one of the best places I've lived. I've had some awesome experiences and met some of the realest people I know till this day. Y'all know who you are. But look how difficult it was to draw this state. I had hand cramps after this. But while I lived here, I finally graduated high school through homeschooling. You can't get into fights in homeschool, trust me. But soon after I graduated, I had gotten my first car, which was a 1996 Audi A4, and this was my baby. Because my dad and we rebuilt this entire car together, and it made me value cars a lot more. I also got into playing basketball a lot with some of the homies, and producing music also kinda caught my attention at the time. I didn't produce anything though. And you guessed it, I moved again, but this time it was back to Chicago, which I was happy about, but I had left a lot of good friends back in Maryland, which was tough as usual, but you know, it was okay. And as you see here, I wasn't gonna attempt to draw Illinois again, so I just stuck with a mini version of that. In the first year living here though, I lost the Audi in an accident, which was super sad, and you know, it was tough to say goodbye. But on the brighter side, I was purchasing my new car at the time, so I guess you can say it worked out. So the funny thing about me living here, and my family will always make fun of me for this, but I was a jobaholic. I managed to have 7 different jobs within the 3 years I lived here. Talk about being indecisive. But your boy was trying to secure the bag, you know? At this point, I think you guys are sick of it, but I promise you this was my last move. I'm sure you're wondering when it was gonna end, but this move was one of the biggest decisions I made on my own. I decided to move back to California on my own, and I had left my family back in Chicago, which was one of the saddest things to go through. But I drove roughly around 34 hours straight. Yes, I said straight. I rarely took breaks, which was an insane drive. And I slept for 2 days once I arrived. I moved to California to pursue one of my biggest dreams, which was to be a part of Hollywood, become a film producer, and even take YouTube more seriously. Even though my uploading is horrible and inconsistent, I promise I'm gonna get better at that. But who knows what's gonna be next in my life? It's still a mystery, but your boy knows the goals he wants to accomplish. Now that is the end to my crazy story, and I can honestly say, I had a lot of fun doing this video. I've always wanted to do this because I love drawing, and I feel like you guys can get to know me a bit more personally. So if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to show that love with hitting that like button for me, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos coming, I promise, or I will find you. Okay, not really, but I'll catch you later. Peace.